the kind of program that is going to be relevant 2 decades down the line as well. So, students will not have to worry whether they will stay relevant in the job market 20 years later, because the program is designed in a way where students, despite being on the job, they will constantly need to adapt and improvise and be stay relevant. Students are getting the same Australian degree. Their degree will not mention that they have studied in India. Neither will the transcripts mention that they have studied in India. So you can imagine you are studying a global degree right within your country. Scholarships, we generally offer a flat 20% accelerator bursary. It is applicable to all students who are applying for the program. So today, if I punch in the application, I instantly become eligible for the 20% bursary, each from analytics and cybersecurity. You are also saved from spending on accommodation and other miscellaneous that you would otherwise have to spend in Australia.
What all does the application form entail? Do we have some SOP, essays, anything that has to be submitted in the application form? So hi everyone, welcome on board. This is Anisha here today in conversation with Vedant from Deakin University GIFT City. So Vedant is heading the admissions and you can say the student recruitment and marketing along with the team at Deakin GIFT City. So we have got hold of him to understand a little bit more about the programs that we offer, what kind of scholarships are available in India, so that it can make our overall MBA journey a little less expensive and more outcome driven for all of us. So welcome on board, Vedant.
Yeah, thank you, Anisha. Thank you for the warm welcome, and it's a pleasure to be a part of this conversation.
Lovely, that's interesting. Vedant, firstly, before we talk about the scholarships and all, we have got really different and unique programs that are there in India. Like for example, we have the masters in business analytics and masters in cybersecurity. What do you think is making our programs different from the rest of the management degrees or programs offered in India by other universities?
Okay, so Anisha, that's a very relevant and interesting question for students as they decide to, choose whether they should go for a general MBA or a specialized program for their postgraduate studies. But before I delve into those details, I will just take a minute to introduce the university to the students. We are an Australian university situated out of Melbourne. We are the first one to start a campus in India, and this is our third year into the Indian market. We launched two specific programs, Master of Business Analytics and Master of Cybersecurity within GIFT City. GIFT City is India's first fintech city situated in Gujarat. Now I'll tell you an interesting part, Anisha. The reason we chose these two programs, Master of Business and Cybersecurity, is because they were one of the first leading courses that were launched by our university back home in Australia as well. When I talk about Master of Business Analytics, that has been our forte for more than 2 decades. We were one of the first universities to launch this program in Australia in consultation with the Big Fours. Talking about cybersecurity, again, it is a very specialized program for computer science graduates. It is accredited by the Australian Computer Society, and students get access to become the members of HCS. So you can imagine that you are going to have a network and a social network of some of the finest people from computer engineering backgrounds when you become a cybersecurity graduate through Deakin. This is a bit about the program. When I talk about analytics, it's not too tech heavy. It's a blend of technical plus management. And, this is the kind of program that is going to be relevant 2 decades down the line as well. So, students will not have to worry whether they will stay relevant in the job market 20 years later, because the program is designed in a way where students, despite being on the job, they will constantly need to adapt and improvise and stay relevant. I think that's a bit about how these programs are. Yeah.
Awesome, that's really great. Now, when we talk about, so we know that our programs are different and the cost associated also for the same. What are the different scholarships that are available for the students in India when they are getting in these admissions?
So, Anisha, I will tell you before I talk about scholarships, we are already offering this at quite subsidized cost to students in India. Another thing is students are getting the same Australian degree. Their degree will not mention that they have studied in India. Neither will the transcripts mention that they have studied in India. So you can imagine you are studying a global degree right within your country. Probably for someone in Gujarat, it is a few hundred kilometers. For someone in Delhi or Mumbai, 1,000 kilometers away. But at the end, you get to stay within your country, and you are also saved from spending on accommodation and other miscellaneous that you would otherwise have to spend in Australia. Talking about scholarships, we generally offer a flat 20% accelerator bursary. It is applicable to all students who are applying for the program. So today, if I punch in the application, I instantly become eligible for the 20% bursary if I'm meeting the basic academic qualifications that are required. We also have a merit scholarship, which is called the 25% merit scholarship. It is available to 4 select students, each from analytics and cybersecurity. Now, the basic criteria to be eligible for a merit scholarship is you need to have an 80% and above in your 10th, 12th, and UG. If you don't have that, you still get an accelerator bursary. So one way or the other, you are getting a good amount of scholarship, and these scholarships will save you almost 4 lakh rupees as a part of your program. So I think this is a very, and because we accept very limited intake, so it is very it's a good opportunity for students to bank on and apply and enroll for the programs.
Awesome. That's really interesting. That's a good amount of scholarships that are available for them. Now, very important, the students will get in the scholarships once they get admission. So, could you share some light about what is the whole admission process and how can the students actually convert our programs?
Okay. So when I talk about admission process, before that I will tell you both are programs. They are very different in terms of how someone would have studied in the Indian education system. They are very practical, very hands-on. So, you enter into a classroom and you are on the field doing a live demo, probably in cybersecurity, preventing hacking or attacking a software of your colleague. Similarly, in analytics, you are learning to analyze dashboards right from day one. You're doing industry projects and everything. Now, when I talk about admission process, it's very simple. We don't charge any application fee, so that's an added advantage that a student will get. The admission process is very simple. For business analytics, we welcome students from diverse backgrounds. So anyone from a BBA, BCom, engineering, BCA can apply. You need to submit a basic set of documents like your 10th mark sheet, 12th mark sheet, undergrad mark sheets. The team will verify that along with the application form. Once the basic criteria are met, you will be called for a personal interview. Now, it is a virtual interview taken by an industry expert. The whole purpose of having this personal interview vetted by an industry expert is to basically assess whether you have the right attitude and the right aptitude. It's not too technical, but it's a basic filter so that we know that we're getting some of the finest students on board, because it is a highly selective program with limited seats. Once you are selected for the interview, then we issue the unconditional offer once you submit the pending documents. And once you accept the unconditional offer, we support you by helping you secure the seat. That's it for analytics. Now, when I talk about cybersecurity is only for students who come from a computer science, IT, or a BCA background. Because it is a Master of Cybersecurity professional program, we generally accept only computer engineers because it requires a large amount of coding and networking and other tech things that a computer engineer would do. For that, students from a computer science background apply for the program. They are called for an interview, and then the rest of the process is very, very similar to how it is for analytics. Now, the catch is, so for example, there is someone who has done a BBA or a BCom, and they have worked for at least 2 years within the IT industry. They can also apply for the cybersecurity program. So anyone without a non-technical background, but with a 2 year of experience within the IT industry or a relevant work experience, are also eligible to apply for cybersecurity program.
Awesome, awesome. That's really interesting. And when you mentioned, like the whole interview process is going to be online, uh, how soon can the students be shortlisted for their interviews once they have applied in?
So I will tell you, right from the application process to your interview call, it is under 72 hours. So for example, you fill your application form and apply to Deakin on Monday, you are most likely to get an interview call on a Wednesday. The
Okay.
only thing that the university does is we just ensure that all basic academic documents are in place, and it's pretty fast. So students are able to get the outcome also pretty fast with it, and the interview results are out within no less than 48 to 72 hours. So you fill an
Amazing.
application and you are likely to get an interview outcome by Friday or Saturday.
Awesome, that's so amazing. One last thing before we sign off, Vedant, is what all does the application form entail? Do we have some SOP, essays, anything that has to be submitted in the application form?
Not really, because this is a very simple application form. We just need basic details, your name, your address, your education qualifications, and any work experience that you have. And for every information that you supply or provide on the document, you need a supporting document to attest that. So that's
Awesome.
very simple, and it's a very simple, straightforward application process.
Lovely. That's really great. So thank you so much, Vedant, for shedding light on, the overall programs, structure, the scholarships and the admission process as well. That was very helpful. Thank you so much to all the students who are listening to us. If you have any doubts, questions, whether you should apply, you should not apply, let me know your profiles in the comment section, your 10th, 12th, graduation, your CAT, ZAT, GMAT percentiles, and we will help you guys understand whether you should apply or not. And if you've already applied, how can you get into the scholarships, how to make most of your time to crack the interviews. Please put it in the comment section. Stay tuned for more details and updates. And thank you once again, Vedant. It was a pleasure to have
Thank
you
you.
on board.
Thank you, Anish. Yeah, thank you.